The initial group possessed simple variations in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable. As the era spread, these variations became increasingly extreme. Well, who do we have here?
So, this was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
Oh god, poor Claire.
She was rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural
Claire.
order. The crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed.
Oh god.
Wait, what? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers.
Superpowered Claire! Claire and John, the superpower
Need a
team!
cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion. If you saw a cape, that made matters clear. You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication.
That is true. If Claire did have a cape, I'd be fully aware that she was super powerful.
You know, floating in water.
And floating on water is a great superpower to have in this world, as the water seems to kill people quite often. Oh. Well, this looks interesting. Oh, Chris is here.
Right. Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you.
It's alright, superhero Claire. You can let
needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
It's like Claire. You can let Chris drown. No one would miss him. Oh, John, you're fine. And Claire will escape to the other side where her portal awaits.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
Oh, God. Poor Thomas. It's a good thing Claire is here, Thomas, otherwise you'd be a dead man. Cube. Red person. Oh, the water effects are glorious.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
Damn right, Claire. Valiant being. Spinny, sparkly cube
Claire
thing.
wondered if Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or was she more the lone Avenger type? She'd like that. The sole hero in a world of rectangles and conveniently placed pools of toxic
It's
water.
a very conveniently placed pool of toxic water. I don't think Thomas would make a good sidekick either. He's only pretty good. John, however, John would be a great sidekick. But where is Thomas? No one wants to deal with Christopher.
The others told Claire that staircases were a bit of a fixture here. Claire wondered why the world made it so difficult.
Poor Claire. Her size lets her down, but she has the heart to make up for it. That's the most epic bullshit thing I could think to say. Apart from Chris is an arsehole. And look at him riding Claire like he was any man. John, however, chooses only to ride Chris. That's it, leave Chris behind. For he is no longer needed. And the progression of the team can continue without him. Goodbye, Chris. Goodbye. Take that, Chris, you bastard. But it's okay, because he respawned in the correct location. As we simply collect and continue. Now this looks a mighty complex.
Claire probably needed a nemesis, a villain who would show their true colours at the worst possible moment, hurting all she held dear.
That is true, she does need a villain.
Chris was the most obvious choice. He seemed stroppy enough. His jump was so pathetic that it conveniently avoided Claire's insecurities.
Oh, Chris, you villain.
Chris. Diabolical Chris. The fiendish Christopher.
Oh, you fiendish bastard, you. Now this is a tricky one. You have to use Chris the diabolical bastard to get across, even though he's Chris the diabolical bastard. But Claire is so selfless in helping her friends that she does most shit about Chris. She has to side with her villainous enemy. To save her friends, she will. Oh, Chris. You despicable, evil man. I'm really bad at changing on this. And alas, Chris is free to push switches because that's all he's good for. And Claire is free to save the other two. With a great Claire floating on water powers. And an easy escape is made. Ah, well played, Claire. You have got them all to safety. A superhero badge is yours for sure. Claire has started some... Oh.
Where had Chris gone?
Where's Chris gone?
Was he off somewhere?
Oh.
Plotting Claire's downfall?
He could be.
If Claire was honest, and she had to be because she was a superhero, this was a troubling turn of events.
Well, it kind of is a troubling turn of events. Then again, Chris isn't here.
There were reasonably sized bodies of water to cross.
And it is, after all, a very reasonable sized body of water. And without Chris, the journey is ever so more pleasant. Because these three friends can get through anything. Especially without Chris planning against them. And using his demonic powers. Look at them, happy friends as can be, making stacks of fun. However, Claire is left secluded through the VIP entry of the tiny little area. But without Chris, it does not matter, for the friends will stay the greatest of friends.
Moving platforms over water, eh? Claire's newly heightened
Oh no!
senses told
Tom!
her that there were multiple paths across with various possible configurations of the little posse.
That is true, Claire. Your superpowers are apt for this decisions. As Claire is going to sneak her way across here. It's all so simple. The shadows in this game just looks amazing. Properly amazing.
They were doing
Oh God!
really well.
They were doing really
Hoped
well.
She could get them all across. John was fully aware he could do this alone. Thomas hoped he'd never have to.
Thomas, that's so deep. It's alright, Thomas. You'll never be alone again. Oh God. And Thomas makes it through. Now for John to make the simple jump himself. And Claire to bring up the rear with her amazing superpowers. Don't let those blocks get in your way, Claire. Just bob on the way through. And form the Tower of Victory. And continue to the next level. But Claire is alone. This is not right. Where are your friends, Claire? In this dark and distant world. You're all alone.
Claire was alone. Which was odd. Because she wasn't meant to be alone. She needed to be where there were rectangles to save.
That's true. That's your purpose, Claire.
The only superhero in a given space kind of defeats the object. Spikes? That was new. Claire avoided them. She decided they were most likely her kryptonite. Not the rubbish red kryptonite either, the proper radioactive green stuff.
I believe spikes. Oh, Claire's kryptonite. But Claire will persevere on alone, hoping to find her friends again. A reasonably sized body of water is no match for Claire. She is going to continue onwards to try and find her friends. No spikes can stop her, as there's a respawn very close. Thomas! You have returned!
Wow. Deja vu.
But it's the same level.
The world was repeating. And this time Thomas was here. Claire felt something had gone wrong. There was a disturbance in the force.
So not only can Claire float on water,
Something
she's
had
also a
altered the
Jedi.
Matrix. The world was reacting to their progress.
And she
It was
is in the
amassing its
Matrix.
forces. It was plotting against them.
Chris must be behind
Claire
it.
finally had a nemesis.
I bet Chris is behind all of this. The diabolical bastard that is Chris. Oh, Claire. I believe in you, girl. Make it past that spike barrier. Oh! Oh, man. I'm genuinely forgetting that I'm playing this now and commentating over the top of it a lot of the time. Oh, Thomas, you are in the way, my friend. Now Claire can form a bridge to take you to safety. And you shall free yourself from this place, Thomas. And you and Claire shall escape together.